right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 660 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, I I've been trying to hold this back for the last month or so, but I'm nervous about Desmond Ridder. I like what I saw in the preseason when they played against Cincinnati. I actually like what I seen last year when they played in the last four when he played last four games of the season. But now this is a franchise changing situation going into week one. Now, I talked about I talked about how I want this team to make a statement when it comes to playing against Carolina Panthers. And I still do. That's not going to change. But this guy right here, this guy right here, this guy, he is going to change the trajectory of this franchise with his play. I'm not saying he's going to play bad or anything like that, but there's a lot weighing on what he does, not just week one, but going into the season. Week one is just the start of it. So I'm going to give you my thoughts about this whole situation. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, so I don't want you guys to think it's something, doom and gloom going on over here. It's just, it's a lot of change about to happen. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button. I mean, I know you probably every video that you've seen on YouTube, they tell you this, but it does matter. Getting these videos up into the algorithm, lifting them up in the algorithm so more people can see it and you have a bigger audience and you will have more feedback coming into the channel, and it helps grow to grow the channel. I'm probably one of the few people on the internet that's talking about Georgia Southern football. And I would like to get that to the forefront, as well as my takes on the Atlanta Falcons as well. So hopefully you guys will help me out. Hit that like button. Help me grow the channel and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, I want to thank everyone who's been listening throughout the week. Phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. We are moving in the right direction. Also, at the end of the day, I can be found on X at VF Baller, and the website is firstandframerates.com. Go check out the website as well if you do not mind. Let's go ahead and get into this. I can't lie to you guys. I'm nervous about Desmond Ridder. It's not because I don't think he can't do the job. It's just that it's still more of the unknown. We saw a good bit of his play in the last part of the season, but he is grown, a lot. We all seen it. He's grown a lot since the last time he played in last season. You could tell a little bit within his practicing, in the preseason game. He's done a lot, and it's really it's really amazing to see what Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, has done around him and how they believe in him and what they want to do with this particular quarterback going forward into the next 3, 4, 5 years of this franchise. And what makes me nervous is the fact that we had Matt Ryan for 13, 14 years. We had him for a long time, and it was so much complacency because you knew what you was getting out of that quarterback. You knew what Matt Ryan was going to bring to the table. Even in his final days where he still played it pretty decent, you knew what you were getting. With Desmond Ridder, you kind of know a little bit, but it's just such a small sample size. You don't know how his career is going to go up or down, or will it go just steady, or will he just fall completely off a cliff and then we'll be looking for another quarterback? This is why I'm so nervous. I need to see what he does on a consistent basis. I think normally around about week 3, I would know for certain like what we have, but that's just me personally. By week 3, I'd know what we have going forward. But even then, you still don't know how that transition will be like 1 whole year as a starter and then going to the next year. I mean, you got to think about it. And not to compare him, but we thought Carson Wentz was the next thing smoking. I mean, you saw how well he played, and he fell off a cliff. Never was the same. And you have all the other quarterbacks that's like that. They have like 1 or 2 good years, and that'll be a wrap. With Desmond Ridder, I want him to continue that tradition what Matt Ryan has done. Matt Ryan was incredibly consistent from the day he walked in the door. I mean, this first pass was a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And I know he's had some regular season games. When I talk about Desmond Ridder, he had some regular season games, so I don't think he's going to be able to have that mystique like Matt Ryan had in his first rookie season or his complete season playing. but I want him to be good enough to make sure he makes the right decisions and make sure this team is actually, moving in the right direction, progressing, getting downfield, getting touchdowns, getting field goals, making sure we're not turning the ball over, make sure he's making the right decisions. I think if I'm a guy I'm in a guy behind a microphone in front of a camera or in the chair sitting here talking about how easy it is for him to do that. I know it's a very difficult job, but I want him to make it look easy. I want him to make it look seamless, that he has a grasp on things and he know what he's doing and he's know what he's putting in the work for. And I really, to be honest, I can't wait to see it. And I think that's where the nervousness is coming in. It's like, oh man, what are we going to be doing? With Desmond Ridder, is he going to knock it out the park? Is he going to light, Carolina up? Is he just going to be a solid quarterback? Is he going to fall off a cliff? I mean, what is he going to do? And me not seeing it on the field, which, we will see it on Sunday, it makes me like really nervous about, okay, what we have here? What's going on here? Are we going to be able to put things together to the point where we are actually prosperous, actually, legit, be a legit team in the NFC, because we're not that far off from being one of the top teams in the NFC. I mean, you really, really think about it. I mean, you look at the Eagles, you look at the Vikings, and right, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we look at these other teams that could surprise anybody. I mean, the Lions, they just beat the Chiefs. So, that's another team you could look at. But then again, you look at all the other NFC teams, the 49ers, I think we could take out the 49ers if need be. We beat them with Mariota. I know that's probably was a slightly different team that didn't have Christian McCaffrey, but we have Bijan Robinson. So, it's always a give and take. And I just feel that with the quarterback we have, I feel like we can go far, but I'm very nervous because the transition is actually, the transition has already happened, but now this is serious now. This is the beginning of a season with a new quarterback. I mean, even with the Mariota situation, we knew Mariota was just a holdover. We knew that he wasn't going to be like the guy, but when you start looking at this now, it's like, okay, this is, for all his purposes, this is possibly our franchise quarterback. And will he be a franchise quarterback that just be solid, or he could be a franchise quarterback that could be top 10, top 8 quarterback in the league? That's basically what it is. Personally, I don't want a top 15, top 17 quarterback, top 20 quarterback. I want our quarterback to be up there in the top 10, at least in the discussion. And it all goes back to his play. Can he do that? With the weapons around him, he got so many weapons. It can happen easily. So I'm feeling like we are in a position we're in a position now that we could make some noise. We really can. It's just, I'm just nervous about it because, let's be honest, we knew what Mariota was, but before then, we had a consistent elite quarterback. And a lot of people who didn't doubt Matt Ryan, a lot of people said things about Matt Ryan, they're starting to realize, like, okay, Matt Ryan was that guy, And I always felt that I never put him too high. I never try to put any of these guys too high, too low. But I do understand what we have at stake, and we have some really good talent that we just don't really, we don't really value until they're gone. We've had a really big track record of that. I think outside of Julio and a few other guys, we really just look at the talent and be like, okay, it is what it is. But now we're starting to see it. Now, can we get Desmond Ridder to be one of those type of guys that we really embrace around? I think Falcons fans in general could do they could do a better job of trying to embrace around the players, but I understand why they don't. We've been through a lot. And with this, it's one of the reasons why I'm nervous, because all the things we've been through, this transition, how it's going to go, is it going to be something that's actually going to be prosperous? And I feel like if we make a statement, like I said, we need to make a statement against Carolina, we'll put a lot of things at ease. You get Desmond Ridder to throw for about 275 for 300 yards, and you get the running game to run for about 150, 175, and you get the defense to get 1 or 2 turnovers. We're talking about a team that, like, okay, they put the Panthers, they put the NFC South on notice. You know what I'm saying? So can we do that? I don't know, but I'm nervous about it, but I am more on the side of we can get it done. But it's just a lot of unknown. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna close out Friday with that. So if you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think about this. I mean, I feel deep down that I think we can do it, but I am on the surface. I am very nervous. I really am. I cannot lie, and I think we're gonna be fine, but I'm a little nervous about it. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble, also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. I'm gonna get up out of here, and I'm gonna start enjoying my Saturday. And hopefully you guys will do the same. I will be back with another video talking about Georgia Southern playing UAB. I will have that video up prior to game time tomorrow, and I'll have a pregame for the Falcons as well. So hopefully you guys will check me out throughout the weekend, and I'll see you guys then. All right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, and y'all be blessed. Peace.